What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Heaven 17 and their 1984 album, How Men Are. Hello, Luca. Are you jumping up? Apparently you are. And the next track is This Is Mine, which is laying claim to something. It's indicating at least an opinion about possession. Of course, if you're having to say that, then I suppose there's at least a suggestion that it might be disputed or there might be some ambiguity on that point, which reminds me of a discussion I had in a history class long ago where, if you look at a historical document and the person is saying, this never happens, and anyone who says it does is completely crazy, maybe that's a suggestion that it actually did happen, but the narrator or the author of the document didn't like it, because if it really wasn't happening at all, why would you need to say it? No one would be assuming that it was happening. So, yeah, the phrasing here makes me wonder if the ownership of whatever is in question is perhaps not as cut and dry as the phrasing would make you think. In any case, let's see what it is in practice. This is Heaven 17 from How Men Are 1984, and the track is This Is Mine.
Tell me you will stay. Just give me one more day. So give up, I'm going on. If you stop, it won't change. One of us has lost the feeling. Which of us is not believing now? You can have it all. I don't need it. Tell them this is mine. Tell them this is watching is no crime. Happens all the time. When it gets you down, rise and leave it. Tell them this is mine. Tell them this is push away the stone. We are not alone. Look into my this hand of mine, come away and find what we left behind. So move up, we're going on to the top. We'll take it one by one. We've got the feeling. Which of us is not believing now? It all. I don't need it. I don't need it. Tell them this is mine. Tell them this is wanting is no crime. Happens all the time. When it gets you down, rise and leave it. Rise and leave it. Tell them this is
there's a lot of like throwback stylings there. Like when it started, and even a tiny bit at the very end there, it made me think of like a throwback singing group. Maybe not like doo wop, but sort of like a mid 20th century singing group type of song. And then it starts, and it's like, oh, it's got a bit of like a 70s funk flavor to it. And along the way, like, I feel like it kept sort of shifting. I especially love the section with what I think was a trumpet. I'm not sure if it was like a muted trumpet or something, but it had like a really sonorous and compelling flair to it, did that brass part. And yeah, like there's lots of interesting drums, like some really fast percussion. I don't know if they were like hi-hats or exactly what I was hearing, but the percussive, the drum elements really were dynamic and had, a lot of shifting configurations, which I enjoyed. The vocals, for the most part, they had an exuberance, like a fun delivery to them. There were a couple moments where they seemed to, hit with a bit more energy, but overall, like, I don't really know what to make of the lyrics. Like, first of all, it sounds like it's addressing another person and sort of saying what they should do. It's like prescriptive, like, tell them this is mine, which I don't know if that's like, tell them, quote, this is mine, meaning it's possessed by the person being spoken to, or without quotes, like, tell them this is mine, meaning possessed by the speaker, and trying to get some other person to say that. But also, like, some phrases that are more about, like, principles in general, that, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting something, and thus, trying to possess something or to control something or have something, which is more like a philosophical point, or a statement about, the morals of something, whether it's okay to do something or not. So, yeah, I don't know how it all stitches together, but the phrase of the title, it didn't really suggest to me how, like, broad or interpersonal the lines of the song seemed to be. So I'm curious to hear what people's take on this one is, like, thematically or lyrically, but a fun tune. And again, going back to the earliest Heaven 17 stuff that I've heard, it had this, like, pop meets soul meets a bit of funk. Like, they definitely incorporated some of those layers before, but it does feel like already on this album it's even different from what I've heard from them before. So they continue to evolve sonically, even as, again, they've been kind of doing their own thing since the guys split from Oki and the Human League. So yeah, just really interesting. And I do wonder, as we go forward on this album, knowing that for some groups in the second half of the 80s, they'd start infusing their electronic synth pop with more funky and soulful elements. Knowing that this is still, pre-1985, it's really interesting to chart this particular group's sonic journey relative to what I've heard from some other groups that, again, in the first half of the 80s were very electronic sounding in their synth pop, and then started to bring in some other, like, more, let's say, regular instrument or, like, popular music styles. Whereas, like, these guys have been kind of doing that already, but in their own way. So I don't know if it makes sense what I'm trying to articulate now, but yes, they definitely march to the beat of their own funky and soulful drum, does Heaven 17. That's the most concise way I can say it. In any case, let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.